Welcome, my little demons, to my lair. And happy Halloween! It's time for all the spoopy videos to come out, so why not I join the bandwagon now? Usually I tell happy, funny, and weird stories, even though there's only like a few videos out right now. So how about I tell a spooky one this time? Woo! So I grew up in a religious family, and Halloween of course doesn't exist in their holiday list. I think it's just a party that they have to dress up in half-assed outfits and for their kids to run around and hopefully tire themselves out at someone else's house or just going outside and going trick-or-treating. I've never done trick-or-treating before because that thing doesn't happen where I used to live. And I happen to have a fascination with anything horror-related. Even though I like horror stuff, I tend to have a limit or you'll find me paranoid for the rest of my life. Maybe it's because of my religious background was a healthy fear or just plain avoidance on the spirit world. Or it's because the little old me tends to go on TV where Courage the Cowardly Dog airs at night, which gave me nightmares. So the fact that Ouija boards and ghost sighting videos tend to scare me a bit. Same for the fact that I'm weird now. Thanks, Courage. Funny stories. So me and my former friends tried to do the Ouija board one day. But in the end, it was just a prank to someone we hated in the group. That explains why I don't feel weird and I didn't feel my finger move on its own unlike the others. Also, I'm not friends with them anymore, hence the quote-unquote former friends. Maybe I should make a video about it. Maybe sometime. Let's talk about Halloween and spooky ghost stuff now. Okay, so let's finally talk about my ghost encounters. Although I call them ghost encounters, I tend to have second thoughts about these experiences and must be just illusions made by my brain. So let's just call it ghost encounters for now for the spooks and stuff. Oh, and if you have school the next morning, good luck sleeping tonight. So let's dim the lights, set it on full screen and on headphones, and get ready for some spooky stories. This first one happened when I was around 9. I had a sleepover with a former friend. I already mentioned that earlier if you haven't noticed. We stayed up all night telling spooky stories, draw, sleepover stuff. And every time we became quiet, I would hear noises around. I would just jolt in fear that something might be behind me. We had this rule back then that we have to stay up till 5 a.m. or until we see the sun rise. Then we go to bed. So the sun rose and it was dark, you to go to bed. Then this time I wasn't so sure what I was experiencing. Either it was sleep paralysis or something paranormal. While I was trying to sleep, I keep hearing voices and whispers surrounding the bed we were sleeping at, as if someone or something was looking over us. But it wasn't in just on one place. I kept hearing the voices moving around the bed. It continued on for a few minutes till it went silent. It wasn't like the voices fading to silence, it just stopped all of a sudden. Turns out she heard the noises as well. None of my former friend's family members woke up until the next couple of hours. In the end, we never knew what the sounds were. This happened when we moved to our second house. Since my room wasn't ready yet, my parents decided to move my bed to my parents' room for a while and sleep there for a few days till it's ready. My brother, dad, and I decided to sleep early because we have school, and my mom stayed up doing last-minute chores. All seemed quiet and we were almost ready to fall into a deep sleep when suddenly we heard knocks coming within the room. All three of us woke up from the sound and just wondered where it came from. My dad, not believing in ghosts, then told us to just go back to sleep and reassured us that it must be something that fell because of the rain. But it was too strange for it to be an object falling onto the dresser with just a fan. The curious me wasn't taking that as an excuse. Since my bed was near the dresser, I heard the noise loud and clear. Thanks to the light from the window, I could see what was around me. You can at least see a silhouette of a person getting something, then get out. You can even see the surroundings of the dresser and what objects are there. The creepiest thing was, the door was locked, so we didn't hear the door open before that happened, and none of the objects on the dresser fell off. In fact, there was no object that could even fall on the dresser. Woo! So, those were some of my ghost encounters. Again, I'm neutral about ghosts and the paranormal. Sure, they interest me, but it mostly depends on my mood on should I be scared or not. This all might be just some hallucinations my brain tends to give me, and I sometimes wish that my stories could have been scarier in this video. But then I've heard even scarier ones where full body apparitions and dark figures in the hallways or someone getting possessed, and I'm just like, you know what? Take the house. I'm setting it on fire anyways. Also, I'm gonna call like 1,000 shamans, exorcists, and priests to exorcise you. Just to be safe. Anyways, do you guys believe in ghosts? Have you ever had scary ghost stories you've experienced? Let's tell creepy stories in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Happy Halloween! And don't try out any rituals tonight. Especially Ouija boards.